Okay, good morning. Welcome. Glad you made it. Today, we are going to do a lot of stretch, foam rolling, mobility, and maybe some floor work with just some weights today. So we're going to give the body something a little different, which is great and always needed, which is added stretching, added mobility, all of that goodness. So please make sure you have your foam roller, and let's also grab a strap. So if you have a yoga strap or a resistance band, a long resistance band, either one works. And we're gonna just do some great stretching, get the body nice and yummy. So let's go ahead and begin with our foam roller. And today we're gonna start right here on our sitting down on our glutes. So you're gonna grab the foam roller and let's just start to massage the top of our thighs and just rolling it back and forth, taking it nice and easy. There's no wrong or right way. You're just rolling back and forth like you're rolling out a pancake or something. Good, just keep doing that for a bit. And you can go back and forth between both legs. You can spend a little time more on one leg if you feel one leg needs it a little more. It's always fun to just feel the spots when you hit them just right. It's like, ooh, that is tender, or ow. Just notice that. Good. Very nice. Beautiful. And now we're actually going to take it down to the side of us here. And we're just going to start right below our shoulder blades. And we're going to place the hands behind our back and let's just roll up and down. Make sure you breathe. So we're getting that good stretch in the upper back. So you're only going to the middle back to all the way up to the shoulder blades. And breathe. Do about 3 more. Good. And then gently drop your hips. The foam roller should be right underneath your shoulder blades. And this way you can take it back and get a nice stretch through your thoracic spine. And then back up. Do that a few times. Inhale and exhale. Good. Take it at your pace. If you want to hang out with your head here, you can, if that feels really good for you. You may feel some cracking going on, which is fine. It's just the body adjusting. Good. And then gently bring it up. And now I want you to turn your foam roller long ways. And we're going to lay on our foam roller right in the middle of our back. So I'm going to start like lower to mid part of my back. You can actually even, if you have a longer foam roller, you can be all the way on it. Mine's one of the shorter ones, so I start in the middle of my back and then it supports my head. If you have the longer foam roller, you can even have your low back on it, maybe even your glutes on it. So it all depends. You could roll side to side or you could just stay right here. You can even take those arms up ahead and then bring the elbows down. This is an awesome stretch for the chest and the shoulders. Good. Inhale and exhale. Very nice. Good. You can even do palms down and then palms up. Try to keeping the elbows on the floor So only take it back and forth to where it feels comfortable for you. But it's mobility for the shoulder here. Good. Breathe for 3, 2, and 1. Gently and slowly roll off your foam roller onto your back. And you can rock side to side, massage the spine. And then we're going to take our foam roller and we're going to place it underneath our hips. So inhale, lift those hips, and then take your foam roller right underneath. And you can bring your legs up. So you're right above the tailbone. It's right there where you hit the upper part of the glute and the low part of the back. And this is just supported legs up the wall, just nice breaths here, big inhales and exhales. Just breathe and let go. And then gently take one leg down, back up, and then the other. So go at your pace, just alternate the legs back down and up. It's just good for mobility. Use that core as well, so keep the core nice and tight. You can always hold the sides of your foam roller for stability. Good, breathe. Here's 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now bring your knees down and clasp the outside of your foam roller and take your knees to one side, back to center, on over to the other side. So we're massaging the low back plus the upper part where it goes into the top of our glute. We do actually hold a lot of tension here, or we work the muscles, and sometimes this is a hard spot to get massaged or to get deep into to stretch it out. So this is fantastic. You want to hold on one side. If you feel you found a spot, feel always free to hold wherever you find a good spot. Good. One more time on each side. And then we'll bring it back to center. Let's do figure 4. So let's take the right foot on top of that left leg, and you can clasp the hands behind the left thigh, pressing the right elbow into the thigh. So you can get a little deeper into your figure 4 because the hips are elevated here on our foam roller. And breathe. Good. And then let's switch it out. Let's take the left foot on top of the right. And breathe. Good. Beautiful. Gently release those legs. Bring the knees in. You can rock side to side and just allow the foam roller to come out from underneath you. Good. And then let's plant our feet mat width apart. And let's just take our knees side to side. Let's find some movement in that low back. Good. Breathe. And then let's keep the knees over to the left side. Take the right foot, place it on top of the left thigh, getting a good stretch all through the side. You got it. Good. Gently release that side. Let's switch over to the other side. And breathe. Good. And then gently release. And before we roll up, I want you to grab your strap or your resistance band, and let's take that right leg up. Take the left leg long, and let's just take a nice big inhale, and as you exhale, start to bring your leg close to you. And now remember, you're not completely warmed up here. This is just a nice stretch, so the knee does not have to be, the leg does not have to be completely straight, so the knee can be bent. You can even bend it even more, or if you want to, you can take the leg farther out as well to get the stretch. So just breathe. Send your body lots of love as you go through these stretches, and remember to keep the shoulders on the ground as you're stretching. Try not to tense up in the other parts of your body. Breathe through it. Good. Then take the strap into your right hand. Open up your right leg, keeping your left glute on the mat, and just stretch. Breathe. Getting into that groin area, the inner thigh. Flex your foot. Getting that good, nice, deep stretch. So good. Beautiful. Then gently bring it back to center. And let's take our left hand and then cross the leg across the body to stretch out the IT band. I'm just moving away from my wall here. And the other arm is open. Try to look in the opposite direction of your leg so you get a nice stretch through the spine. Breathe. Good. And then gently bring that foot back to center. Awesome. And now we're going to do the other side, that same thing. So take that right leg out, bring that left leg in, take a nice inhale, and as you exhale, just slowly start to bring it towards you. You're gonna have one leg that feels more tight than the other. That's fine, just notice it. Breathe through it. Good. Big inhales and exhales. Now take your strap into your left hand and open up to the side. So you get a nice stretch into that groin area, making sure the right glute stays on the mat. Both hips are pointing to the ceiling. So we're not rolling over with the leg. We're staying straight and allowing a great stretch in the inner thigh. Beautiful. And then back to center. Let's take the right hand and cross the leg over the body. Left arm is out, gaze in the opposite direction of your leg. Get a good stretch through the spine. Also your IT band. And your IT band is that lovely band that goes from the low back down through the glute, all through the hamstring. Good. And then slowly bring yourself back to center. And release. Bring your knees into your chest. And then hands behind you. Slowly rock yourself up. Good. And then we're going to go back to our foam roller. So now I'm going to turn this way to you. We're actually going to sit the glute right on top of the foam roller. And we're going to take our right foot on top of the left leg. And we're going to, the leg that's up, this right knee, kind of point it towards down down towards the floor. And then you're going to start to roll just on that right glute. So this just brings a little more weight as you roll through that right glute. Breathe. Whew. You may feel some areas in that glute. Breathe through it. Good. And if you find a spot, you can stay on it for a moment and breathe through it. It's not the most comfortable feeling in the world, but I always say, how do we find comfort in the discomfort? Good, and then just breathe, roll through it. Good. Let's switch sides. So now that left foot on top of the right thigh, you're gonna get on that left glute and kind of point your left knee down to the mat a bit. And then start to roll on the left glute. Back and forth. Like I said, if you find a spot, feel free to just stay on it for a moment, breathe through it. Sometimes it's just tight and we need the muscles, the fascia, the connective tissue to just release some of the knots or tightness that we may have. Good. Beautiful. Whew. When you're done with the glutes, just adjusting my mat here. Now you're going to come on to the hamstrings. So go forward and back. You're just taking your hands right behind you, and you're going forward and back on your hamstrings. You can also do one at a time, and if you do, I like to double up my legs and do one leg at a time to get deeper into the hamstring. Or you could just do both legs at a time. Another way is to actually just set one foot on the ground and do one leg at a time. You can even roll inward a little bit more to get the inner thigh that way. So find which way you like, which works for you. Remember, there's no wrong or right way. Breathe. Good. Awesome. And gently release that way. Now we can't forget our calves, so we are going to do our calves, and I do like to do calves one leg at a time. So my left calf is on it, and I'm just rolling forward and back. And I like to go sideways, so I point my toes in and out, getting the different parts of the calf muscle. So feel around. We don't often stretch our calves as much as we should, and man, they are very important for us. That Achilles tendon down there. Good. Switch to the other calf. You can always do calves, both legs at the same time as well. I usually just like to do one at a time so I can get to the inner part of the calf and also that outer part, not just the middle part, because our calves, you'll feel it in all different areas. Good. Beautiful. Now we're going to flip it on over to the front side. And we're going to start with our quads. So we're going to place the foam roller right in our hip crease. So it's right there in our hip crease and our hands are down. So we're basically going from like a forearm plank to a high plank. So we're pushing ourselves up. So down and up, and adjust your roller however you need to. So if you want to get more of the lower part of the quad, you can start lower. Good. And just breathe. So it's a movement all the way from the hip crease of your hip flexors to right until you get to the knees, down and up. And just breathe. Good. Release any tension in the quads. And now I want you to come just to center here, the center of your quad, And I just want you to hold it and just bring your heels in and out to your glutes. So you're just bending at the knee. That's all we're doing. We're just getting that good stretch right there. Applying a little pressure on top of that quad to release any tension. Good. And then go back to your rolling. And this time, when you come forward, bend the knees. When you go back, straighten them out. Good. Beautiful. And then gently release. Now we're going to take our foam roller. We're going to come onto our bellies, but we're going to get the inner thigh. So you're laying straight down. And you're putting your leg right on top of the foam roller here. And just start to roll out and in. And you can always adjust the foam roller too if you want it deeper inside the groin area. Or if you want it farther down towards the knee, the middle to the knee. So play around with it. Ooh, my inner thighs are feeling this. So breathe through it. Good. You got it. Few more breaths here. Few more rolls. Beautiful. Good. And now let's go to the other side. And not to worry, I have some treats for the upper body as well. Good, so keep it going. Make any adjustments to where you feel it a little bit more. Or if you need to hold it and breathe through it. Good. Very nice. Gently bring it on up. Good. And then we are going to do our side. So the outer thigh muscle, our legs. So take one leg on my right side on, my left leg comes forward, and I'm rolling back and forth on the side. So now we're on the outer part of the hip. And I always definitely feel something right here. We have what's called a TFL muscle. It's right on the outer inner part, and that can turn on. And that TFL can get very, very tight. It can be an angry muscle. It's one of those muscles that's small, but when the glutes get tired or you don't pay attention to form, the TFL will turn on to help you. And then it causes a lot of tightness. Breathe. Good. You can even put the foam roller a little bit lower to get down into the side of the thigh. So I do spend a little bit more time on my sides because we have the outside of the hip, plus we have the outside of the leg, the outer thigh. And then we get a lot of buildup. So really go through it. You can just hang out like right there. I feel it. So I'm just going to hang out for a few breaths. Inhale and exhale. Remember, when we're releasing this, your entire body will thank you. Good. Very nice. When you're done with that side, let's go to the other side. So we start on top and you bring the other leg forward. You can be on your hand, you can be on your elbow. Whatever feels good for you. Go back and forth, find any spots, and breathe through it. Foam rolling, it's a love, not so much love relationship, right? And I think that's sometimes what causes us not to do it as much is because it can be painful. So my suggestion is maybe start out just a few minutes a day so your body will adjust, and then you'll be able to build up more and more time. Good. Breathe. And when you're done with that, take a breather. So good. Your legs should be feel very different. Now we're actually going to do our lats. So we carry a lot of resistance. We carry a lot of tightness in our lats, and all I'm going to do is lay on it. So I'm laying kind of like on the outside of my shoulder, and I'm going to roll up and down. It's a small movement. It's where the lat and the shoulder connect, and you're going to feel it. So be nice and gentle. Good. Move around as you need to. If you need to readjust, if that's too much, that's okay. You can always readjust and maybe just work on the arm if underneath the shoulder and the lat is too much. So it's a small movement. You're not moving a lot, but believe me, you're breaking up a lot. So breathe. I feel it right there. Good, one more breath. And gently release. Before we go to the other side, let's sit up nice and tall. Left foot in front, right foot is back. Turn towards your foam roller, your torso. Roll it out. And then roll it back up. Do this about 4 times on this side. So you're getting a nice twist. Also press up on that foam roller with your arms. Your arms will also get a nice little roll. Good, breathe. And bring it up. Beautiful. Before we go to the other side, we're gonna do our little dancer pose here. So when your left hand on the foam roller, come up onto both knees, swing that right arm over, push the hips forward, gaze towards the ceiling, get a good stretch all through the low back, the side body, the hips, and gently release. Good, we're gonna do that one more time before we go to the other side. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, release. Get that good stretch. Beautiful, and gently release. Beautiful. Take the foam roller over to the other side. We are now going to do our shoulder and lat on that side. So remember, you're right underneath the shoulder and the lat where they connect. And it's a small movement. You're just rolling. You can even roll side to side. We hold a lot of tension there. Breathe. Remember, if this is too much, you can always just roll the arms. Good. And this isn't a big movement. You're just rolling kind of side to side or forward. You're playing around with it. See where you feel it, right? Breathe. One more breath. And gently release. Press it up. Whew. I always feel those. Doesn't matter how many times I do them. All right, our foam roller is to the right side of us. Right leg is in front, left leg is back. Turn your torso towards your foam roller, and here we go. Roll it out. And then back up. 3 more times. Get a nice, good stretch. Through the side, the back, through the twist, and then we're getting the arms rolled. Good, one more on this side. Beautiful. And now let's place our right hand on top of the foam roller. We are going to come up on our knees. Nice little dancer stretch. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, release. Press those hips forward, gaze to the ceiling or your fingers, feeling that whole stretch throughout the body. And exhale, release. Good, we're gonna do one more. Inhale, take it up. You got it, breathe. Feel that stretch. And gently release. Good. Now let's bring our foam roller to the front. We're gonna cross the legs and we'll do it with both one leg on top and the other leg on top. So remember how you're sitting now, okay? And then slowly start to roll the foam roller forward and only go as far forward as, so not to pull your glutes off the mat. So you're gonna roll back and forth. You can even stay in the stretch. So if you wanna stay down and breathe, you'll feel the stretch in the low back and the upper part of the glutes. Good. You can roll it back up. Let's do it one more time on this side. And gently bring it back. Good. Now let's swap out the legs. So whichever leg you had on top now comes on the bottom. Swap them out. Let's do that same thing. Roll it forward. Bring it back. And the reason why we switch legs is because sometimes we're so used to just sitting one way. So then we get tight in that other position. So important for symmetry to always do both sides. Good. Let's do one more. Breathe. And gently bring it up. So good. Okay, let's move the foam roller just to the side. We are going to use it still, but let's grab our resistance band or your yoga strap. We're going to stretch out the chest and shoulders a little more. You're doing amazing. Sitting up nice and tall, take a nice inhale and take your strap or band up. Good. And then exhale, slowly bring it behind you. Hold it where you feel the stretch in your chest and your shoulders. Breathe through it. Good. And then gently, if this feels good, take it down. And then inhale, bring it back up. Hold. Good. And all the way up to the top. Good. Hold it here. Take a nice inhale. And as you exhale, twist to the right. Still holding that strap and your spine is nice and long. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twist over to the other side. Good. Inhale back to center. And exhale, take it over for a side body stretch, keeping the glutes on the mat. Good. Inhale back up. And exhale, take it over to the other side. Good. Inhale, bring it back up. We're gonna do this one more time. So back up, nice inhale. As you exhale, take it behind. Hold that stretch. Feel that goodness through the chest and the shoulders. Good. Gently release behind you. After doing this, you're gonna feel so nice and loosey-goosey, a little Gumby. Back up and hold. Good. Then back up to center. Take a nice big inhale. As you exhale, twist to the right. Breathe. Good. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twist to the other side. Good. Inhale back to center. Take it over to the side body stretch. Keeping your glutes on the mat, gazing towards the ceiling if that feels good. If not, gaze down. Inhale up. Exhale over to the other side. Good. And then inhale back up and slowly release. Ah, we're almost there. So good. Let's grab your foam roller again. We're not going to forget the shins. And we're going to do a little core work here because we're going to come into tabletop position. And I like to place the foam roller right underneath my shins. Keep your back flat. Inhale, bring your knees into your chest. Exhale, take it back. Keep the core tight. Make sure that your joints are stacked, so your wrist is right underneath your shoulders. You could do this just a few times. Shins can be very sensitive. So do it for 3. Breathe. 2. And 1. Good. Now take your feet down, just press up in a downward facing dog. And just get a nice stretch. So just start to pedal your heels. And remove your foam roller from the mat. Good. Inhale your right leg high. And then exhale, sweep it through. Plant your right foot. Drop the back knee down. Come on up with your arms up. Let's just do a nice crescent moon pose. We're stretching out that left hip flexor. Good, and breathe. Good, take your hands down, take yourself back into a half split. Hold it for a moment. You can even grab the toes if you like, bring them to you. Good. And now gently come forward and we're gonna go into runner's lunge. So take your right foot outside of your right hand, above the hand. You can drop the head if you want to come down onto your elbows, feel free, or stay up onto your hands. If you want to find movement in that leg, feel free to. So just getting a nice deep stretch into the inner thigh. Good. Breathe. Good. Take one more inhale. And on your exhale, take your left knee off of that mat. Take the right foot back to meet you, high plank. And then exhale, down dog. Walk out your heels, get those hips high. We're going to do the other side. Inhale your left leg high. And step it through. Drop the back knee. Inhale, rise, crescent moon. So get that nice stretch through that hip flexor. Breathe. Good. I promise your body will thank you for taking the time to do this for yourself today. Gently take your hands down to your mat. Take yourself back into your half split. You can grab the toes, pull them towards you, getting that good stretch all throughout the calf, the hamstring. Good, breathe. Then gently walk it forward, walk your left hand, your left foot out, side of your left hand into runner's lunge. And then whatever you did on the other side, do on this side. So if you went down to your elbows, go down to your elbows. If you rolled out your leg on this side, try it on this side too, or on the other side. Good. You can let your head hang heavy here. Breathe through it. Good. And then inhale, take that knee off of your mat, step it back into high plank, and exhale, down dog. And then drop down to your knees for child's pose. Good, take some deep breaths here. And then take your left arm underneath your right arm for a nice shoulder stretch. If you would like to bind, feel free to do that here by taking your right hand around to the back. Trying for that inner crease of the left inner thigh. And breathe. Good. If not, you're still here with that right arm straight and it's active. Gently release your bind if you're in a bind. And let's switch to the other side. So right arm is underneath the left. And if you want to take that bind, take that hand behind. So good. And then gently release your bind. Come back to center. And if you can, grab your foam roller. We're still in child's pose, but place your arms on top of that foam roller. You're getting just a little deeper. You're allowing the head to drop as your arms are pressed. Good. And then slowly bring yourself up, roll up, and then roll yourself back down, drop the head. Do this a few times in child's pose. Rolling it up, and then rolling it back down. Good. Last one. Breathe. And then gently bring yourself up. So good. You're gonna find yourself now on your back. We are going to roll out our neck. So take that foam roller right underneath your head and neck. You can hold the sides of your foam roller if you like, and just start to go side to side. Breathe through it. Close your eyes and just hang out on either side if you feel a little knot or any tension, and take big inhales and big exhales. Allow your body to calm, to release any tension that can be in your head or neck. And when you're ready, come back to center, and I want you to do 5 little circles, head circles. It's going to be a very small circle in one direction, and then 5 head circles in the other direction. It's a small movement, but you feel it. Good. Breathe. And then back to center. If you want to go side to side again, one more time, feel free. And then gently back to center. Slowly remove the foam roller from your head and completely laying on your back. Release your breath. And just close your eyes. We've done so much. Just allow your body just to absorb all of the goodness that you just did for it. So start, send your body love, gratitude, healing from the top of your head all the way down to the bottom of your feet. Love, gratitude, and healing. This is one of the best things you can do for your entire body. So just give yourself credit for showing up and doing this today. And we're just going to take a few moments here just in silence for Savasana. Now gently start to bring awareness back into your body. Wiggling your fingers, your toes, circling out your wrists and your ankles. And when you're ready, bring your knees into your chest, rocking side to side. Good. And then laying on one side in fetal pose whenever you're ready. And then pressing yourself up into a seated position when you're ready. So good. Thank you for taking this time to give to your body, your muscles, your connective tissues, into the fascia, all of that good stuff. Thank you for taking the time to show up for yourself. Take a nice big inhale, either with arms up or just hands together. And as you exhale, let go of anything not serving you and continue to bring in love, gratitude, and healing into your body. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me today. Awesome job.